and then before we start putting the pillows on the patient, we need to start to prepare the patient to be flipped over. So EKG leads need to be taken off.
Make a little room for the nurses to get.
Shoulders need to be padded, hip bones need to be padded, knees need to be padded, shins need to be padded.
If there's chest tubes, under the chest tubes, the lines all need to be like right by the arms, so like arterial lines here, central lines need to be clear.
So pretty much you're preparing the patient to be flipped in all the lines coming out to your side, so when you turn them, you can have access to them. At this time, if there's any drips that you can not have on, turn them off, because it makes it easier the less things the patients are connected to. Obviously, the legal and things, you can still flip them with those, but like NS and any antibiotics that are running, you can turn that stuff off because you don't want a lot of cables. Minimize those as much as possible. Okay, so once you do that, and you are sure that you're ready to go, we're gonna get the pillows now that Jessica had in her hand.
Usually, I mean, we don't have to right now, but usually we double them up.
Yeah,
Or
that's what she
sometimes
was
triple
doing.
them up.
What was she? I thought she was doubling them up.
Yeah.
I thought she had them double up. Where did she go?
Where did that one?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
looking around, I couldn't figure out what was missing, I didn't have a
You're like, it's so easy to breathe.
Yeah. Like, why do you have a mask? Oh. Okay, there,
Okay,
here's
so
the
where are you gonna put them? You're gonna put one on the chest. One on the hips and then one on the shins. You wanna make sure that the knees are free floating. Okay? These are some really awesome pillows that we have. Usually the pillows are not this bad.
One might be fine.
Yeah, one may be fine, but these are kind of really bad. So on the shin and then one on the hip area.
Kind of relieves the pressure point.
Okay? Then we're gonna take our second sheet,
We don't need that though.
which is,
No.
and we're gonna put that on top of this. And we're gonna, if you can start to see, we're gonna start to make a cocoon out of the patient.
I find it the virus.
There we go.
Okay? So you should have 3 layers. You should have your top layer, you should have your middle layer, and then you have your bottom layer, which is underneath the patient. Okay?
We're doing pretend this is a vent.
Yeah.
All right, so if that is the vent, we always turn the patient toward the vent. So at this time, this will be the time, now that we've gotten to this point, that you will disconnect the patient from your monitor. You will already have your lead set up, so when we flip them, you can quickly slap them on the back, get the patient back on the monitor. So, on Jessica's side, we're going to roll the, all the 3 layers toward me.
Roll it towards the vent? Yeah.
Wait,
Up,
over the top, right?
so we're up here.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna roll ours down like this. So,
So maybe this is where we get some more people.
yeah.
For more people.
So 3 people on each side.
Okay, so the way the people go. So, because there is a way and a method to the madness of the people. Obviously, the RT is gonna be at the head because they're gonna control the
You're right
vent.
here.
But as far as the people on the side, most people are heavy from their hips up, okay? So our tallest people need to be at the head and so on and so forth. It's gonna make it easier when we turn because if I'm tall, you're short, and then I'm trying to flip, it's not gonna work the same. Okay?
Down his face.
So you're gonna make the patient a nice tight cocoon, okay? So we all should feel that we're nice and tight. The respiratory therapists, just like when we do log rolls, they will be controlling our movement, so we're going on their go. The first movement that we have to do, you guys noticed, and I didn't say this before I got in here, because I'm hoping they said it, is we remove the headboard, okay? So our first move is to take the patient, so that when we flip them, we don't flip them flat on their face. We're gonna move them up, so their head is dangling off of the bed. So when we flip them and turn them, their head will still be dangling and not suffocating.
So
Okay?
where's that other pillow? So usually, can we raise the head of the desk, just plug the internet off? It's not plugged in now, please.
You'll be able to do it.
You want the head of the vent up?
Yeah, it's good.
And Dennis, you can take the headboard off right now to make it
Just the
easier for
head of the
yourself.
vent.
The head of the bed.
Dennis, you can take the headboard off too.
the headboard's off, but we're gonna slide them up and turn them.
I mean, is it in your way? I'm saying, is it in your way? Can you still reach it? Because if it's in your way, you
Usually
just.
we put them here.
Okay, just making sure it's not in your way. First movement on Dennis move, we're gonna move up and off the bed.
So we're gonna lift at the same time, we're gonna come up and forward. Ready? 1, 2, 3, lift and forward. All right. Our next move, we're gonna lift and we're gonna move flat to this side. Everybody got a good grip? 1, 2, 3, sliding. All right, now we're gonna go this side up. We're gonna go just sideways like this.
So, yeah, let me explain one thing. So what we do is, we're gonna go up, you guys are gonna go under, but then we're gonna leave them 90 degrees. And then what you do is, you're gonna take one hand, you're gonna slide, so our side will slide one hand under and grab it, and then keep one hand over. And then you guys will keep one hand under and put one hand over 90 degrees. Does that make sense? Okay, go ahead, Jordan.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, roll.
And then switch hands.
I grab your roll, you grab my roll, okay?
All right, got it.
Everyone got it? Everybody got it? All right, we go all the way over. 1, 2, 3, twist.
Okay? So at this point, we let the respiratory get the head together, and he let us know
So right
whether.
now, I'll get an extra pillow, support his head, make sure the vent and the tube and the lines are all secure and free over here. And then we're gonna unwrap and start putting our leads and
Okay.
stuff on.
Well,
So-
usually they're, like, he's not centered on the pillows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So usually what we'll do is,
That's
separate
pretty
the third. So this sheet's off, and then roll this one back, no, leave this one on. And usually, yeah, we can
Oh,
just
the
pick
sec-
them up and center them on the pillows.
So this one.
Let me see.
So just the bottom one comes off, and
No,
then
they did this.
it's usually easiest if you leave it wrapped up like that, and then literally just pick them up and move them over, and if you need someone to reposition the pillows, that's.
Sometimes the other extra person.
Like that
slide the
top one
pillows.
needs to be
Right.
moved
So he's
over.
gonna come this way,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna lift him up,
Ready?
one,
1, 2, 3, up.
And then fix the
Okay,
pillows.
And then shove the pillow under just like that. So there he is. So usually we'll have a donut here for the head, or an extra pillow that I can support him better with.
Or the
The spine.
The spine, yeah, the
Yeah,
base
yeah,
pillow.
the
The thing with the ETT.
yeah, and sometimes you'll have like an extra person
Alright.
just come in and.
Okay, so at this point, okay, so we would take off this top part. We will quickly get the leads on because we want them back on the monitor. Respiratory is going to be doing what they're doing. While respiratory is doing what they're doing, nursing is going to get the patient pretty. Meaning I'm going to get them in a position where it looks like they're not uncomfortable. I'm going to fix all my lines and tubes. I'm going to, if I have to turn the patient will still be turned Q2 hours. So this doesn't mean that you don't turn the patient. You turn them exactly the same way that you turn them if they were on their back. But the only difference is that, you see how, most of us don't lay and turn like this. So we're gonna make the patient comfortable where the arms are gonna go with the
Opposite.
the head.
The way you're turned.
We do opposite, so, no, so that, what arm would be up?
That right here? Oh, okay. All right.
Opposite. Yeah.
Okay.
So, one thing I wanna say too, we're gonna come every couple hours and tuck pillows. to shift
Patients gonna be
away,
like this.
And we also come
Yeah.
and turn their head. Don't put the pillows on the side opposite of the face, because you're cranking his head all the way around when you do that. So if his face is pointing this side, the pillows go on this side. When we come in a couple hours and I turn his head this way, then the pillows can go on that side. So that way we're taking the pressure off of his neck. Some people, especially older, can't turn their head like that. So just bring it out in like a swimming mood.
Like that.
There you go. Is that comfortable like that?
That's what I'm
You
saying,
know
like
what?
that.
Sometimes would you rather have both arms up like that? Sometimes it takes pressure off your neck. Is that better?
Because I sleep with mine, like I personally
Right.
sleep like that. And it is dependent on the
It just takes the
patient,
pressure
because
off
some
the neck.
patients don't have any mobility in their arms. So you have to just try to get as much,
Or their neck.
as comfortable as it looks. Because if they can't tell you, then you don't know if it's comfortable or not, but.
So what happens when the patient codes and you have to turn back over?
Oh, you don't. You can
You just do it just like that?
Yep.
And in our,
If you
in our
try,
One of those head things that you use on a massage
well,
table.
the other thing you could do is make a bolster of sorts
you're
across
good.
the chest that raises it up a little bit, and then the
When we
spine.
have the pillows.
Use that. We found doing the operating room, you bring the chest up away, and you can use that spine frame, which keeps the head at not neutral.
Okay, so